DLC is a big part of Call of Duty. There have been some COD multiplayers throughout the years that have had really disappointing launch content, but then they were totally saved by their DLC. COD Ghost and COD World War II come to mind, and ever since Modern Warfare 2019, we've had free DLC maps that, again, have sometimes managed to completely save the base game. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Chaos here, and today we are going to be checking out my picks for the 10 best DLC maps in COD history, both from the paid era of DLC and the free era of DLC. So you let me know in the comments which map you think had the most positive impact on the game. If you want my list of the worst DLC maps, we can get that one started as well. Drop a like. And at number 10, Micro in Black Ops 3. Now, it's one of the most memorable DLC maps of all time. It was fun. It was. Even if you removed all the Easter eggs, the crazy set pieces, the giant bugs, you would still have a very well-designed map that used the mechanics of Black Ops 3 to its advantage at every turn. Micro is a medium-sized map. Players are shrunken down. You do battle on a picnic table, meaning use various food items and utensils as cover, and you can come face-to-face with some bugs trying to steal everybody's lunch. But the map also came with a lot of fun flanking routes. You had great sightlines for sniper rifles. You had cheesy boost jump wall run spots for you to get some clips. It was a great example of a map that drew you in with that crazy concept. But then it kept you there and kept you coming back with really good design. Seriously, more maps like Micro, please. This is what happens when you take all the restrictions off your developers, and it was actually kind of awesome. At number 9 today, Verge in Black Ops 3. I was originally going to give this spot to Bonsai from World at War, but then I remembered Verge, which was a futuristic remake of Bonsai in Black Ops 3. And you know what? I actually think Verge was the better version. The sniping battles on the middle bridge of the map were absolutely insane. The advanced movement meant you could quickly get back into the action after you were killed. Bonsai may be the most iconic of the two, but Verge had way more potential to be fun, and I don't think I've ever had a bad match on this game. I might be in the minority here, and there may be a ton of you that don't even remember this map, but I do actually think it's one of the best COD DLC maps ever released. If you never played it, you probably never will, because I don't think there's much of a community for Black Ops 3 DLC maps in 2024, but if you played Verge, you might actually agree with me. Before we move on, guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We are slowly working our way back to 3 million subscribers. I truly appreciate all the love. Make sure you turn on those notifications fully so you never miss an upload, and you are the first top comment. And at number 8, Hazard in Black Ops. Speaking of World at War, how about a map that you may not have known was actually a World at War remake? Hazard was released for Black Ops 1 as part of the Annihilation DLC, and it is a remake of the classic map Cliffside from World at War. But instead of taking place on a big dramatic cliffside, it takes place on a Cuban golf course, and in true Treyarch fashion, there are a ton of Easter eggs and references to the characters in Black Ops 1's campaign. But Hazard played a lot better than Cliffside in many ways, mainly thanks to all the improvements in gameplay from World at War to Black Ops 1. Sniping was more fun, flanking routes were more helpful because of the increased sprint duration, better automatic weapons, addition of more kill streaks, chopper gunner attack dogs. This map got way crazier than Cliffside ever did. And this map still looks good to this day because of those bright colors and that excellent environmental design. Treyarch knocked it out of the park here. It's definitely one of the best DLC maps and best map remakes in COD history. At number 7, Trailer Park in Modern Warfare 2 2009. Now, the DLC for the original MW2 was kind of weird because it was being developed and released while Infinity Ward and Activision were in the middle of this giant falling out. But that doesn't mean there weren't some bright spots. The post-launch content and support, it was there for Trailer Park, which I still think is one of the most memorable maps ever released for the game. It took place in a vehicle disposal yard, and it let you weave in and out of beaten up RVs and campsites, and it was one of the smallest COD maps ever made at the time of a release. You really had to be on your toes here to succeed, and if you liked using shotguns, you were going to have a field day with this map. It was cool. I really wish it would get a remake because the vast majority of COD players, you've probably never even experienced it. At number 6, before I get flack for putting a shipment map on here, just listen to me. Shipment 1944 COD World War II. Now, Call of Duty World War II is another COD title that struggled to maintain people's attentions with its multiplayer after launch. Not only was the game absolutely busted when it came out, but many fans were turned off by the gameplay, the low number of 6v6 maps available in the base game. Plus, this was back in the days of paid maps. It was map packs. So if you were disappointed by the base content, there was nothing you could do about it. However, a few weeks before the multiplayer overhaul, Sledgehammer released Shipment 1944 as a free addition to the game, and it seriously reignited the community. it was a banger of a map, mainly because it was just a faithful remake of the COD 4 version with a new visual style. It had brighter lighting. It did have a couple tweaks and adjustments to the spawns in order to make them a little more predictable, which could have been good or bad depending on how you play COD. Still, the most popular map in COD World War II this day. And there's a Shipment 24/7 playlist that still has a pretty respectable number of people coming in and populating despite the game being almost 7 years old. That is a sign of a good DLC map. Cracking into the top 5. Studio in Black Ops 2. Now, Black Ops 2 brought back a handful of maps from previous Treyarch games, but instead of remaking them one-to-one like Infinity Ward's been doing, or had been doing at that time in Modern Warfare 2 and 3, they decided to make them more appropriate to the setting of the game. Black Ops 2. Studio is a remake of Firing Range from Black Ops 1, but a lot of people actually prefer this version because of the updated visuals and the changes in the gameplay. Now, the layout, exactly the same as it was in Firing Range, but now it's set on a big Hollywood movie set, and you're doing battle in the backlot surrounded by giant set pieces and landscapes. The map plays just as well as it did in the original game, but a brand new setting. Had improved movement, and some changes to lighting and art style that actually players felt more comfortable with. So you let me know in the comment section, do you prefer Firing Range from Black Ops 1 or Studio from Black Ops 2? I want you to be honest. At number 4, Shoot House in Modern Warfare 2019. Maybe seen as a rather overplayed map by modern COD standards, but when it was first added to the game, it was exactly what the doctor ordered. For those that weren't playing Modern Warfare during the first 6 months, this game seriously struggled to maintain a player base, largely due to the fact there was only a handful of 6v6 maps available at launch. In the community, they hated most of them. They were slow. Modern Warfare 2019 at launch just didn't feel like Call of Duty to a pretty massive percentage of the community, including myself. So when Infinity Ward put Shoot House in, it was instantly the saving grace. Relatively small, very fast-paced map, and it made Modern Warfare feel more like classic COD, and it was the reason a lot of people got back into the game after leaving it behind the first few weeks of launch. It has since returned several times, and the community is getting tired of it now, I know that, but it was a great addition to the game. Certainly one of the most important DLC maps in COD history. At number 3 today, Kill House, not to be mistaken with Shoot House, in COD 4. Infinity Ward has made a weird number of maps with the word house. Kill House was one of the only DLC maps released for COD 4, and I wish it was brought back in the future game as a base map or something because it was really, really good. It's frankly one of the best maps in Infinity Ward's library, but since it was a paid DLC map over 15 years ago, none of you probably remember it. Very small map, set in a training facility. It was all about running and going nuts on the other team as quickly as possible. If you didn't have super fast reaction time, you weren't going to have fun in this game or on this map. But if you were good at the fundamentals of the game, you could have the best match of your life. It was brought back in Modern Warfare 2019 as a gunfight map, but it never returned as a proper 6v6 multiplayer experience, and I think that should change. It is super underrated, and it's certainly one of the best DLC maps in COD history, and I said at the beginning of this that most of you have never played it. I'm not going to say that, because that's not true, and every time I say that, people come in the comments and show me that they have. I really, really need to respect some of the COD history that my viewers have. There are OG viewers here that know everything before I even say it. At number 2, Fog and Ghosts was almost number 1. One of the most iconic maps to me in COD history. Not only remembered for the great layout and the sweet vibes, it was also jam-packed with horror movie Easter eggs. And a field order, yes, that you know. You played as Michael Myers running around the battlefield, slicing people up to his famous music. It's easily the best crossover event in COD history, which is crazy because it came out way before people expected big brand crossovers. Now, it wouldn't be that surprising to see Call of Duty do a collab with various horror movie IPs, but Fog, it was way ahead of its time. It was fun. The Easter eggs, the references, they enhanced the layout, the game pace, and obviously becoming Michael Myers in a Call of Duty game is something the community will never forget. Maybe one day we'll get a proper remake of Fog, but even if we do, it won't hit the same as it did back in Ghost. Even if you never played the map, you know the map I'm talking about. And now we arrive at number 1 today, the best DLC map in COD history. This was not easy, and if you know me, you probably already guessed this. I have to go with Grind in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 4. Not long ago, I called Grind the best map in Black Ops 2, and you know what? I think it deserves more than that. I think this is the best DLC map in COD history, and since it was actually a DLC map twice and both versions were awesome, here it is at the top. Grind was added to Black Ops 2 as a paid DLC map. It quickly became one of the most popular maps in the game thanks to the setting, the layout, allowed you to play super aggressive, still gave players the kind of space they needed in order to flank the enemy team. You could pull off those cheesy plays for the objectives. Treyarch brought Grind back as a free DLC map in Black Ops 4, where it again became one of the most popular maps in the game. And since that version was free, everybody got to play it. It had positive recognition. 100% deserved. To me, Grind is an all-time best Treyarch map. And if you ask me, or you clicked on this video and you made it all the way to the end of it, it deserves to be called the #1 best DLC map in the entire franchise. I'm hoping Treyarch watches this and finds an excuse to bring this map back in Black Ops Gulf War, Black Ops 6, whatever you want to call it, because it deserves to be played by the next generation of COD players. That is it, my friends. If you want to see the other side of this, the dark side, the worst DLC maps, you let me know in the comment section. I am reading every single comment of every single video. I'll see you soon.